Hello students, I am Pratima Kumari, Assistant Professor, MCA Department, Patna Women's College. Today, we will be covering the topic Reasoning and Knowledge Representation under the scope of Artificial Intelligence. Reasoning is a way to infer facts from existing data. It is a general process of thinking rationally to find valid conclusions. In artificial intelligence, reasoning is essential so that the machine can also think rationally as a human brain and can perform like a human. This topic is about clearing your concept about the logics or techniques being used by intelligent agents or expert systems to represent the knowledge that they got by different types of learning like supervised, non-supervised, reinforcement or semi-supervised learning. Before talking about the reasoning part, let us talk about the different ways by which one can know something or collect information to further use those details for training purposes of intelligent agents. As we know, we or humans make intelligent agents by providing training data to it. For that purpose, we need data. Now, let's move to getting the data part. So, there are various ways of knowing something like empirical method. In this method, knowledge is gained through observation and experience. Scientific method. In this method, knowledge or information is being collected in a systematic or sequenced way by evaluating evidence to test ideas and give answers to questions. There are many more ways to gain knowledge like intuition, which involves believing what feels true, and authority, which involves gaining knowledge by some authority figure like mother, teacher, boss, etc. These are the traditional methods of getting knowledge, but the method on which AI rely is rationalism, which involves logic and reasoning to acquire new knowledge. Now, we should know what is reasoning. Reasoning can be understood as inferences. If an agent knows something, what else can that agent infer from the given facts? We can take an example of one of the equations of reasoning, that if we were given a question of finding the next number in a series which follows any specific pattern which we have to find to complete the reasoning question, how do we find that? We find that by finding the patterns of given data and draw the inference accordingly for the next number. In other words, we can say that reasoning is the drawing of inferences from a given set of facts. There are three types of inferences. First, deductive inference. Second, abductive inference. Third, inductive inference. Deductive inference means inference drawn would be necessarily true. For example, if a patient has typhoid, then the inference arises from this fact is that the patient must have fever. This is a necessarily true fact inferred from the given fact. This type of inference is also called cause to effect. Abductive inference means inference drawn will be possibly true. For example, if a patient is having a fever and goes to the doctor for further diagnosis, then possible inferences might be typhoid, dengue, etc. This type of inference is called effect to cause. Last type of inference is known as inductive inference. When we generalize the fact as an inference from the given facts, then inductive inference takes place. For example, people leaf is green, the tamarind leaf is green, neem leaf is green. Inductive inference will be all leaves are green. When the facts inferred, then the role of logic came for reasoning in artificial intelligence. Logic is a branch of mathematics used to validate any predicate or relationship between individual elements by using truth tables. It plays a prominent role in reasoning by providing any sentence to be valid or not. For example, if any sentence is proven as tautology, then that sentence is valid, otherwise not. Since we are talking about sentences to be proved as valid or not, we should know that there are two types of sentences. First, atomic or primitive sentence. Second, compound sentence, or we can say complex sentences which are formed by the use of logical connectives. Logical connectives are used to describe new knowledge by taking one or more than one sentence as input. Mostly used logical connectives are unary. It takes one sentence as input, example logical not. Second, binary connectives. It takes two sentences as input, example and, logical and. If A and B are sentences, so it is written as A inverted V and B. Second, logical or. Third, implies, which is denoted by inverted C. If A then B, we can call it as if A then B, or all A's are B. There are 16 binary connectives. Ternary connectives are, it takes three sentences as input, but generally ternary or higher order connectives are not required. It is efficiently expressed as a combination of unary or binary connectives. The semantics of logic refers to the approaches that logicians have introduced to understand and determine that part of meaning in which they are interested. The logician traditionally is not interested in the sentence as uttered, but in the proposition and idealized sentence suitable for logical manipulation. And this goal will be fulfilled by the use of logical connectives, which are defined using the truth table. So, we will start by looking at truth tables for some popular logical connectives. Here are the table for negation. This table is easy to understand. If P is true, its negation is false. If P is false, then its negation is true. Likewise, in the case of logical AND, it should be true when P and Q are true and false otherwise. And also in case of logical OR is true if either P is true or Q is true. These are the basis for the logical reasoning part. These are the most commonly used connectives in logical reasoning, which enables any intelligent agent or expert system to simplify any complex sentence or checking for validity. Implications are the most popular among all these. In logic, implication is relationship between different proposition where the second proposition is a logical consequence of the first. It is false only when P is true and Q is false, and is true in all other situations. So, in this lecture, we get to know about reasoning, its types, semantics, and also how it infers facts from existing data. Thank you all.